Joe, take it away.
Thanks, Alexandra. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, I know I stand between you and a coffee break, but I promise these next few sessions will totally be worth it. And if you don't feel like that's a valid statement, come find me at the demo booth. I'll show you some demos of what's been done today, and we can talk that out. But I hope you're all as excited as I am to be here and see these sessions. I'm thrilled to take you through these as they are a favorite portion of the Innovate conference for myself. And the work that I do at Symphony is to work with clients like yourselves to better understand, determine, and implement workflows that will improve your business. So this part of the day is right in my wheelhouse. Over the next 45 minutes, you'll see 3 unique use cases from across the Symphony community. But before we get started, I'd like to clarify that these sessions feature workflows that Symphony does not control or determine. Our partners and customers build these solutions you are about to see to streamline their workflows on the Symphony platform. These sessions are a way of sharing some of the interesting things the community is doing. And with that, let's get started. First up, I'd like to introduce our next guests who are here to demonstrate Symphony's embedded collaboration platform integrated into one of our key partners platforms. Joining us on stage is Olga Chin, CEO of InterPrice Technologies, Keith Gaub, Assistant Treasurer at Bristol Myer Squibb, and James Gutow, the Debt Capital Markets Managing Director at Barclays. Thanks, everyone. Take it away.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today at Innovate to announce our partnership with Symphony in changing the ways that corporations are able to communicate seamlessly on debt issuances with their debt capital markets partners. However, before we dive into a demo, let's just quickly find out how the primary markets work. So Keith, can you tell us a little bit more about your role and responsibilities in BMS?
Sure, thank you. So one of my responsibilities as the Assistant Treasurer at BMS is to ensure our company is appropriately funded, which includes accessing the capital markets for liquidity. So through cash flow forecasting and capital allocation planning, we'll determine the debt levels appropriate to sufficiently fund our business. Once we align internally, we'll begin assessing the indicative pricing levels provided by the banks. Using those pricing levels, along with a series of other factors, we'll begin to firm up our funding plan. And once we get to that stage, we'll begin to communicate our intentions with the capital markets group at our banks.
Perfect. Now on the other side, James, how about on the debt capital markets side?
Sure, thanks. On the DCM side, our focus is keeping clients updated on financing market conditions and the cost of raising debt funding. We update our clients typically via email with updated pricing across a range of currencies, maturities, and instrument types. And as market conditions evolve, we continue to update them. Once the company is ready to go to market, we work with our syndicate, our credit sales force, and we engage with investors to circle interest for a bond transaction.
So how do you two communicate with each other throughout the process?
Yeah, the banks typically send weekly run emails. Those emails have pricing indications, macro factors, market conditions. That's our primary form of communications. We will, from time to time, pick up the phone to communicate if we have a specific question, but predominantly through email.
Yeah, I agree, Keith. We typically communicate via email and by phone.
Thank you so much, James. So now let's see how InterPrice and Symphony are going to revolutionize this. Dylan, ready for the demo? All right, great. Let's pull up the screen. So here's the InterPrice platform. We're a corporate treasury management solution. We aggregate all of the information that corporate banking partners provide to treasury teams. And we're very fortunate that we work with multiple Fortune 500 corporations in the US and globally. The process starts when Keith is planning the BMS funding needs. You can see that he has a message from James on Symphony to discuss plans for his upcoming issuance. So Keith now can go into the platform and scan the level sent over by the banks. Keith, what do you think? What should we issue?
Yeah, so I'd like to take a closer look at that 5-year issuance in USD, but I do have a question about the assumed size. So I'll go ahead and ping James and ask him what the price differential may be should we choose to issue $1 billion.
So now that Keith has decided what instrument he wants to issue, he's going to open up the chat with James and type in the question. James, when you receive this message, what do you think about the next steps? What's your answer?
So I would say, great, that's a good question, Keith. My thought is that if BMS were to issue $1 billion of bonds instead of $500 million of bonds, the additional cost would be about 5 basis points.
Perfect. So as you can see, we've gone from having to look at multiple emails and written down notes from phone calls to immediate connectivity with the banking partners. And that's really what InterPrice and our partnership with Symphony is about, removing this context switching and having the corporate debt issuance workflow all in one place. InterPrice aggregates and organizes the information, and Symphony acts as the collaboration layer. And we want this type of instantaneous communication for all of our clients and their relationship banks. What's more surprising is that my team over here began to work on this integration just a little over a month ago, and within a few days we had ECP seamlessly embedded into the platform. So now, Keith, James, what are your thoughts in terms of how this might potentially change the way you do business?
I would say anything that can streamline different technologies is incredibly helpful. We use Symphony frequently internally, and it's a very efficient way to communicate with people across Barclays Bank, and I can see the same application working very well externally.
Yeah, and to echo a little bit what James said, corporate treasury departments are extremely busy between meetings and just getting through the day. We're not excessively staffed, so anything we can do to increase efficiency with an ease of execution is always going to be valuable for our day-to-day.
Perfect. All right, well, to close, with this development, we're excited that we're going to roll this out across all of our clients in Q1 of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Olga, we have a few minutes left, so what's next for this development?
So from our side, digging deeper and doubling down on this. So first of all, we would love to roll out ECP, not just between the banking partners and clients, but also just between the corporate treasury clients. So imagine if somebody like Keith had a question that he wanted to pose to a different treasury team, then he can very quickly and seamlessly do that. That's the first one. And also doubling down on what they can actually do in terms of the messaging with their banking partners. So you saw on screen that there were simple messages and the communication was instantaneous, but what if we can actually embed more information, embed more questions, ask specific questions as to what's on the platform. So that's coming next.
Wow, that sounds great. I'm sure people are looking forward to that.
Thank you.